everybody and welcome on today's video. Today I'm going to get these boxwoods out of this spot where I planted them a year ago. There's a video on that. It was a big clump that I separated. I don't think that they are really great as individual bonsai, so I think that I'm going to try to make some kind of forest landscape with this. But first I have to get them out of the pot, wash them all, and see how I can use them to make a nice little landscape. So let's start. So the first thing is getting them out of this pot. So I'll try to get them out all together, which should be possible by just slowly pulling. Well, that seems to work. Okay. I see quite a lot of roots here. Okay, so, well, here you have it. Lots of sand. I remember that I used lots of sand, so that means that these trees, they love that substrate. Maybe a little too wet, but I'll keep that in mind. So, okay, let's start with the first one here. Now I have 1, 2, 3, well, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 trees that I could use. I think that if I can use 7, it will be a nice little composition. So I don't need to use them all. Which is nice because then I can choose the ones that I prefer. And I'll plant the other ones in another pot, which will give me some spares and maybe the possibility to make the forest or the landscape a little bigger if I want in the future. And by doing so I can work on these ones. Some of these trees are were planted last year with roots, and some are cuttings, because I think that boxwood, they work well with cuttings, but that doesn't mean, of course, that that they have a lot of roots, and it certainly doesn't mean that they have a lot of good roots. So we'll have to find out about that. So it's going to be a question of cleaning this whole thing up, washing all the trees, all the roots, because I said that before, I don't think that a forest should be some kind of a place where you put all your most ugly trees. Quite the contrary. And I have an idea about a sort of landscape. I'll show you the pot. I've been thinking about it a couple of hours, and I want something with rocks with different heights in the pot. So I've been preparing the pot already with stones and some basic soil levels, but I cannot show you this right now because my table is full of trees. So this is one. I'm going to keep it like this for the time being and start the rest so that I don't have to man, you see, this is really what the, yeah, well, this is a stump. So I remember that some of these things are probably not really usable, but maybe they will be in the future. Problem with boxwood is these wounds, well, before they close, if they ever close, they don't heal well. But okay, I'll see what I can do. So I'm gonna keep this one like so, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, of course. I think that this is a cutting, so I'm kind of curious. Yeah. So this is a cutting. There's a little root here, which means that this thing is absolutely not usable, but I will plant it. It might become usable. 2 little roots, 3 little roots. Might be usable in the future, so I'll have to get this in a bucket of water. And this one, don't know what that is. Looks that it has a little more roots. Yeah. But I'm not sure that this was a cutting. Anyway, that one looks really nice. It's very small, but in a forest or landscape composition, this is really interesting because it can be your little tree in the back. So that's nice. Okay, I'm going to stop talking, clean this whole roots, all the root bases of all these trees, and then I'll be back. Okay, because there's quite a lot to do here. All the trees have been separated now, and well, some did really well, some did really poorly. Like this poor guy has only a couple of microscopic roots here. Well, it's not really a surprise because, well, okay, this one will go to recovery mode. And then on the other hand, we have a few really great trees here. But as you see, when I separated this clump, I had these huge chunks of wood here. And well, it's nothing I can do. I need to get this off now. And I'm not sure how much root I'm going to keep, but that should be enough. So that's a good one. Yeah, I'm going to put this poor guy also in the water here. So that has to go. This is also a very complicated tree here. I don't think yeah. I have this tree here now, and it has some roots here. This is supposed to be a side branch, so yeah, I think that in this case I'm going to lose the upper roots here and try to use this as a side branch. Because, well, there's a point where you have to make a decision, and I'll try to keep the roots here down low and hope for the best. Okay. That's not a whole lot of roots left, but we'll see. That was a cutting. Probably won't use that. This one is looking rather nice. I have some good roots here at the bottom. So I'm going to keep that and probably get rid of some of the roots here. Like so. Can even go a little deeper. Okay, so that's a good root plane. Well, that will work. Just going to put it in the water. Yeah, that will work. Maybe try to get this a little more flat. Okay. This one is a rooted cutting. It did quite well. So there's a stump here that I could try to remove. Man, this wood is really hard. And it's not easy to wire boxwood. They break really quick. So, but this is a good one. A small one, but a nice one. So here I can even do a little trim. This is the biggest one, and I must say that I'm quite happy with that, because it's an important one. This is supposed to be the main tree here. I plunged them in a bucket of water, but I still think that I should clean this up a little more. Anyway, I think that I might have a decent root plane somewhere here. So all the roots here I will remove. And I think I'll have to clean this up a little more, wash this out. But it took me quite some time to get everything out of the, well, separated, because they did grow well. So I'll have to wash this out a little more. This is a main tree, and I was kind of hoping that it did well. But yeah, you never know until you see the roots. So I'm going to wash this one out a little more. I have a bucket of water here sitting on the ground. But it looks like this one has a decent root plane. So okay, I'll trim some of these roots back. But still need to be quite careful. So we have some roots here at the very base, which is the ones that I want to keep, but I also don't want to remove too much here at the top. Probably in a couple of years I will have to get everything out of the landscape and redo the whole thing, and then I'll probably be able to make some more decisions. So maybe just a couple here in the front. And that'll do. Give the tree time to recover and form some very good roots at the base. Well, it's well on its way, so that's good. So this one also is quite nice, but I've been looking and I don't have a whole lot of growth here, so I think in this case I'd better just keep the upper part and remove the whole stump here. Like so. So this gives me a good root base. Strange tree, strange shape. I don't know how I'm going to work with this, but okay. And then I have a couple of really strange little cuttings. This is like a twin trunk. It's always nice to have a twin trunk in a landscape, because there's always going to be someone saying, yeah, you cannot have an even number of trees. He said, no, it's not an even number. These are just twin trunks. So okay, it provides an excellent excuse. So I'm going to clean up and we'll try to plant something now. So like I said in the beginning of the video, I've been spending some time yesterday trying to make something interesting as a start for a landscape. So I came up with this. As you see, I have a lower place here, and I have already a little mountain here in the middle, which is surrounded by these nice sandstones that come out of the pot, which creates a lot of depth, I think. Well, I'm not sure, but you know, I'll have to try some things to make these trees look interesting. And well, I think I'll be happy if I can position 5 to 7 trees in this composition, because they're fairly big. And yeah, so I'll start with the biggest one here, which will fall over, of course. But since I expected them to fall over, I'll try to block them with some rocks. So this is quite nice. I'm not sure about this one because it has this strange well, it's going to be difficult to find a good spot for this one. So maybe I'll try to put it here, maybe a little bit in the back, and then this trunk will be a little more, well, acceptable. So something like that. Okay, that looks quite nice, I think. Don't you move. Well, another rock, maybe. Yep. So I'm just going to position them, and then I'll have to work my way around this one here. Might work. It's gonna fall over, so maybe a little rock. Okay, so these are 3 trees. This one is a nice one. It should go somewhere in the back, I think, but not too much in the back. So somewhere here would be nice. So maybe I can use this rock to keep them both, and I feel that the bigger ones are falling over, but that's okay. That's how it goes when you create a group. So these are 4 trees. Then I have this one that is not bad at all, which could come, I think, somewhere here. A little one in the back here. So that makes 6, which is an odd number. And then I have my, didn't finish my phrase when I was talking about this one. So this is a double trunk, so you can always say no, it's 1 tree, or you can say it's 2 trees. So that eliminates the problem of the even or uneven numbers. But I feel that this one should really go completely in the back, so I'll probably move this one a little more to the front, quite close maybe to the big one here, and then put that one in the back. And I have a really small one left. I think this whole thing can come a little more, everything can come a little more forwards. And then I'll put this one, which is a small cutting, here in the back. So, how does it look? Well, it looks like a storm went through the forest because the trees fell over. But okay, I think it's not too bad. I really have to have a look now and make sure that the trees are not standing completely in front of each other. So this looks good, these two. So I'm going to fix them. Okay, where is my scoop? So kind of like that. And I said I would use this one here. Now, does it have a good front? Well, not really. But I don't want this completely behind this one, so I think I'll do that. Move this one forwards. Get this one here. And then I'll have some room for the really small one here in the back. So a little more substrate. Okay, so that fixes this. Okay. I don't think that's good. These three trees look like they're on one line. So that's not very good. Okay, let me see. Well, that's a little better. This small one should even come more to this spot here. Okay. Well, it's always a tricky thing. So, I think these ones look quite okay. First planting of a group is always very difficult, especially when you want to take care of the roots and spread them out as well as you can, which is something that I really want. Okay, don't move, don't move. They're going to move. Well, it's fairly good. So I want them straight. I don't like forests that are falling over to the sides. And this is just the first planting, and it might well be that I don't like it when it's finished and that I redo everything. But yeah, first you have to plant it and then you can judge if you like it or not. So I feel that this one should come a little higher. So I will try to get some soil under it. Like so. I will have to do some pruning because some of the branches are crossing and really not helping. Trees pushing against each other. Okay, now there's a couple other ones falling over, so I'll try to get them fixed a little better. The little guy in the back is falling over. So I have a almost plan here. So let me see. Well, I think overall this is looking good. Some of the trees should be a little more straight. Should be covered in more substrates. So I think I can work with that plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I can say that it's 9 because I have the double trunk. So, okay, I'm going to try to fix this and add some more rocks to stabilize it, and then I will be back. And as you see, it is really important to fix it because it's falling over. So, be right back. And so here we have it. I'm just applying a few pieces of moss here and there to make it look a little more natural. I kind of like the idea that this is, well, a little lower than the other part. And as you see, the trees are fixed but are not completely fixed, which means that the pruning of all these trees will have to wait for, well, a couple of weeks before I can do anything, because I don't want the whole composition to fall apart while I am trimming this. And so I think that's gonna be it for today. I'll just finish applying the moss. But overall I'm very pleased with the result. I think it's looking very natural. Looks kinda, yeah, it's a nice little landscape. Of course this tree needs a good drink now, which I will provide off camera, because yeah, it's not really that interesting. So I think I'm going to call this a day for this composition, and I'll finish the video with a little tree, a 60. Maybe just a little piece of moss here would be nice. Okay, so here we have it. So let's hope that everything recovers well, grows well, and stays happy. I'm going to water this tree now, put it in the shade for a couple of days, and let it time to settle. So that will work, and then we will be back to do some trimming in a month or two. Yeah, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.